श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। गुरवे सर्वलोकानां भेजे पौरोगणां निधे सर्वविद्यानां श्रीदक्षिणामूर्ते नमः। क्रतुण्डमहाकाय सूर्यकोटिसमप्रभा निर्विघ्नं गुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं चैव ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। द्वैपायनो अष्टवटनिष्कृतम् अप्रमेयं पुण्यं पवित्रं मदपापहरं शिवं च यो भारतं समधिगच्छति वाच्यमानं किं तस्य पुष्करजलैरभिषेचनेन योगो शतं गणकसङ्गमयं ददाति विप्राय वेदुषे च बहुश्रुताय एकां च भारतकथां शृणुयात् समग्रं तुल्यं फलं भवति तस्य च तस्य चेति व्यासम् अष्टनप्तहरं शक्ते पौत्रमकल्मषं पराशरात्मजं वन्दे शुकदातं तपोनिधिं व्यासाय विष्णुरूपाय व्यासरूपाय विष्णवे नमो वै ब्रह्मनिधे वासिष्ठाय नमो नमः। नमो धर्माय महते नमः कृष्णाय वेदसे ब्राह्मणेभ्यो नमस्कृत्य धर्मान् वक्ष्यामि शाश्वतान्। नमो भगवते तस्मै व्यासाय मितदेशे यस्य प्रसादात् वक्ष्यामि नारायणकथम्। So previously we were looking at the end of day one's battle, Yudhishthira goes to Krishna and he thinks about leaving this battlefield and ending this war. And then Krishna convinces him that there are a lot of people on your side who can face Bhishma and even kill him and win and get the victory for you. And then Yudhishthira urges Drishtadyumna to lead the battle and protect his army. So with that, they prepare a Vyuha array called Krauncha, and preparing that they come to the battle for the second day. So here we also see that Kauravas, looking at that, they also prepare for that battle, performing a counter array, and they come there. So then when they arrive in that battlefield, now we look at what happens. So Dhritarashtra asks when my and hostile hosts on the Pandava side were forming those arrays like that, Vyuhas like that, how did they strike each other? And Sanjaya says that when all those people arrayed, waited, cased in mail and looking beautiful with their flags and everything raised, they all looked beautiful at that time. Duryodhana was stationed there within that, and he tells all his combatants, all his army, he says that you are all cased in, protected, now begin to fight. So then the combatants, they, without any desire to save their lives, they putting their lives on the line, so they went for this battle with Pandavas. And similarly on the Pandavas side as well, they also rushed against Kauravas. So both chariots, elephants, horses, foot soldiers, everyone mixed together and they started fighting one another. So in that battle again, Bhishma, he taking his bow, approaching all the Pandavas, he started killing everybody. And then Abhimanyu goes against him. The Arjuna goes, rushes towards Bhishma, along with Kekas, Virata, Dhrishtadyumna, Chedis, Matsya warriors, all of them rush towards Bhishma. But Bhishma single-handedly starts hurting all this Pandava army. Then Arjuna addresses Krishna and says that go to near where Bhishma is, because protected, he is doing what is good for Duryodhana. The Drona, Kripa, Shalya, Vikarna, all these united with Dhritarashtra's son headed by Duryodhana, and all these are protecting him, so he will slaughter everything. So I have to do what is good for our army. Then Krishna says, be careful when you are going to Bhishma, because he got that strength and he got that knowledge of all the weapons. So he warns him, but then Krishna takes him towards Bhishma. He places his chariot before Bhishma, and then with all lot of flags and everything waving and the horses looking beautiful, both of them, then they come face to face each other. Bhishma at that time. Arjuna moves forward towards Bhishma, killing all the Kaurava division that's coming against him, and also Surasena's coming against him. He approaches, goes towards Bhishma. Krishna drives the chariot towards there. Then, as well, Bhishma on the other side, he was protected by Sindhu, King Jayadratha, east, and the warriors from the east, Sauviras, Keyakas, all of them were protected. And then also Bhishma with Drona, Karna. So here, nobody else could face up to Arjuna except Drona, Karna, and Bhishma. So Arjuna was going against all of them. Then Bhishma strikes Arjuna with 77 arrows. Drona strikes him with 25, Kripa with 50, Duryodhana with 64, Shalya with 9 arrows, and Ashwatthama with 60, Vikarna with 3 arrows, and then Jayadratha with 9, Shakuni with 5 arrows. Artayani releases 3 arrows towards Arjuna. Even though all of them are releasing arrows towards Arjuna, Arjuna single-handedly faces all of them and counters all those arrows. Then he starts fighting back. So again, when somebody releases arrows, so first you have to cut those arrows. The second thing is, if you get a chance, you release arrows before they strike again so that you hurt them. So that's what Arjuna does. So Arjuna now pierces Bhishma with 25 arrows, Kripa with 9, Drona with 60, Vikarna with 3, Artyani with 3 arrows, and Duryodhana with 5 arrows. Then, on the Pandava side, Satyaki, Virata, Drishtadyumna, all of them, along with Draupadi's sons, Abhimanyu, all of them come to support Arjuna. Then, Drishtadyumna, along with his Somaka supporters, he goes towards Drona, because Drona was supporting Bhishma, and it became very difficult to stop Bhishma. So Drishtadyumna tries to take Drona away from that. So Bhishma then again strikes Arjuna with 8 sharp arrows, and their battle continues. So hearing again those Arjuna with striking Bhishma, and then Bhishma striking Arjuna, they continuously fight each other. Then Duryodhana tells Bhishma, because Arjuna could not be stopped by Bhishma. So Duryodhana tells Bhishma that this Arjuna is killing all our troops. So you and Drona are the best among all these warriors here assembled here. If it's only because of you, Karna also not here, who could have resisted this Arjuna. So do what is good for us and kill this Arjuna. So Duryodhana instructs and tells Bhishma that because of you only Karna is not here. So you do what Karna would have done. So then Bhishma becomes very disappointed. He says, Kshatriya, because I'm born as a Kshatriya, I have to go through all these things. In the battle, I can't say no. So then he starts striking again at Arjuna. And then all the kings, seeing both these Arjuna and Bhishma fighting, they all watch this battle happening between those two. They blow conch shells and all the instruments and everything. So Ashwatthama, Duryodhana, Vikarna, they all support Bhishma on the sides, and also on the Pandava side surrounding Arjuna, they battle those on the Kaurava side. Bhishma again fights with 9 arrows. Arjuna in return releases 10 arrows. Like this, then with 1,000 arrows, Arjuna covers Bhishma from all sides. But Bhishma again counters all those arrows, that net of arrows Arjuna has released with his own arrows net. So like this, they continue to battle one another. They are both equally strong and equally good in their warfare. So they continuously fight each other. So the successive fights, again, arrows coming from Bhishma's bow were seen, again dispersed by Arjuna, and similarly Arjuna's arrows continuously cut off by Bhishma. Arjuna again pierces Bhishma with 25 arrows. Bhishma too again pierces Arjuna in return with 9 arrows. Like this, two warriors, they continuously fight each other. Then Bhishma taking arrows with three arrows, he strikes Krishna in the chest between his breasts. He strikes Krishna. So seeing this, Krishna's blood starts flowing, and Arjuna becomes very angry. So he pierces Bhishma's charioteer with three arrows, and then those again trying to hurt each other. They again continue to battle one another. Uh, that battle continues for a long time, and both of them with their arrows, taking the arrows, releasing, and in no time, quick times, they fight each other. Seeing them like that, all the Devatas, Gandharvas, Charanas, everybody, Rishis, everybody assembled watching this battle. They say that there is nobody in this world, three worlds, who can face Bhishma in the battlefield. Nobody can kill him in the battle. Similarly, Arjuna as well, even with Indra with taking his army, cannot defeat Arjuna. Indra with Daityas and everybody coming together as well cannot defeat Arjuna. So as long as if these two stay like this, as long as the world lost will remain, till then these two will continue. So there is never going to be an end to these two battles, these two fighting. So like this, they continue to fight, and Bhishma, Arjuna continue to fight. Meanwhile, Drona and Drishtadyumna, they fight each other. They continue their fight. So Dhritarashtra asks, then how did those fight? Because Drishtadyumna was born to kill. He was born to kill Drona, right? So that's why Dhritarashtra becomes concerned. He asks, how did he fight? And also he says Arjuna isn't having all those weapons and knowledgeable. If Bhishma himself cannot stop, who else can stop Arjuna in that battle? So Sanjay says that listen to me carefully, all these things that I'm going to say. Arjuna is, even Devata Indra himself comes, he will not be able to defeat Arjuna in the battle. So listen to me, all the things that I'm going to say. And Sanjay continues his narration. He says, Drona, with large number of arrows, he strikes Drishtadyumna and he kills Drishtadyumna's charioteer from this chariot. Then Drishtadyumna, with his four horses, and Drona strikes his four horses with four excellent arrows. Then Drishtadyumna also strikes Drona with 9 sharp arrows, saying, wait, and he becomes very angry. Then Drona again, on his side, he covers Drishtadyumna with large number of arrows, and he strikes Drishtadyumna. Like this, Drona, when he releases the arrows, a dreadful arrow towards Drishtadyumna, everybody thinking on Pandava's side, thinking, oh, Drishtadyumna is going to be killed by Drona now. But Drishtadyumna cuts off that terrible arrow coming towards him, and he strikes towards Drona. So again, Drishtadyumna, wishing to kill Drona, he takes up his own strong arrow with gold in it and with all the diamonds and all the stones wetted on it, shining arrow. He takes that and he aims that towards Drona. Drona again cuts that into 3 pieces with 2 arrows, and that arrow falling from the sky shines and it makes it. Then Drona again takes off an arrow and cuts off bow of Drishtadyumna. So like this, with this bow cut off, Drishtadyumna becomes very angry, and he takes a huge mace and strikes it, hurls it towards Drona. So hoping to kill Drona with that mace, but again Drona very quickly through his arrows, he strikes that mace and destroys that into pieces. So then he again takes number of arrows and releases them towards Drishtadyumna. Drishtadyumna's coat of mail pierces and penetrated through that, and it strikes him, and blood starts flowing. So then But Drishtadyumna again taking up another bow, he pierces Drona with 5 sharp arrows. Then again he again strikes again with towards Drona. Drona once more cuts off Drishtadyumna's bow, which he just not took. He kills again Drishtadyumna's charioteer. He kills the 4 horses as well, and he pierces the leather protection he had in his hand. So like this, he Drishtadyumna takes a mace again. He strikes towards, hurls it towards Drona, but Drona again cuts off that into fragments, pieces. And now, without charioteer, without horses and things like that, Drishtadyumna taking a large shield and large scimitar, he rushes towards Drona. So, with the aim of hoping to kill Drona through that, he rushes towards, but Drona continuously releases arrows towards him, and Drishtadyumna with his shield protects himself, but he could not move any further. So he was stopped on his way by Drona from reaching him. So Drishtadyumna was unable to reach Drona because Drona continuously released arrows towards him. Then Bhima comes to that place and he strikes Drona with 7 sharp arrows, and he takes Drishtadyumna, who was without any chariot, on his chariot, and he takes another chariot at that time. So he rescues, he protects Drishtadyumna from Drona. So then Duryodhana urges all the Kalinga warriors, large division of Kalinga warriors, to go and face, support Drona, because Drona is now having to face Drishtadyumna and Bhima, so he sends them. So Drona again, abandoning Drishtadyumna, he goes towards Virata and Drupada, so he fights them. Drishtadyumna also leaves Drona, and he goes and fights, supports Yudhishthira in his battle he was having with Kauravas. So here now, Dhritarashtra, listening to this, asks, how did Bhima face up to that Kalinga warrior, which is large division they are having with his troops? How did Bhima strike those, and how did he battle with those people, and what happened with to the Kalingas, and how did they battle against Bhishma? So Sanjaya continues his narration. He says that when urged by Duryodhana, Kalingas with large army advanced towards Bhima's chariot. Bhima as well, supported by the Chedis, he rushes towards those Kalinga armies, which had large number of chariots, horses, elephants, and they all armed with mighty weapons. They all advancing with Ketumat, the son of Nishada king, and Shrutais as well. They all were there, invincible warriors. They all coming in anger towards Bhima. So the ruler of the Kalinga, the king of Kalinga at that time, with many thousand chariots and Ketumat and 10,000 elephants and Nishadas. So Nishada is again a general term normally used for the fishermen, okay, fisherman tribe. So Nishadas normally, just going a little bit off topic from the battlefield, Nishadas is a fisherman, and they are normally kind of not, they're classed as the lowest of the society. Okay, so they are not allowed in any kind of sacrificial places and things like that. Okay, but there are some exceptions. You have seen in Parva the story of a good Nishada king. Anyone remembers? Nala Damayanti, remember? Nala was Nishada king. Okay, so we had Nishadas, all of them supporting Kalingas. They were fighting. They were coming aid with Ketumat, Kalinga king with them coming, and then Chedis, Matsyas, Karushas, they all with Bhima leading them. All of them rushed towards them. So those Nishadas. So then terrible battle started between them. So combatants again cutting one another, striking at one another without any desire for their own life, they went ahead and had those battles. But Kalingas were and Nishadas, they were so strong, the Chedis were frightened and they started abandoning Bhima and they turned back. So Bhima all alone started facing the Kalinga army, that entire army that was coming towards him. He stood there, he did not turn back, and he stood there and started facing them. So then the king of Kalingas, he with his son by the name Shakradeva, both of them started striking at Bhima. Then Bhima taking a beautiful bow and he releases arrows towards Shakradeva and he kills. He really starts fighting Shakradeva. But Shakradeva taking an arrow, he kills Bhima's horses. So then the Bhima with his charioteer horses killed, he could not move any further. But still, at that time, Shakradeva rushes towards him. But Bhima, even though he was could not move from that chariot, still taking a good number of arrows, he strikes at Shakradeva. Bhima also then staying on that chariot where horses have been killed, he strikes Shakradeva with a mace, and with that mace, he kills Shakradeva, and he falls on the ground with his flag and his chariot and horses and everything, killed by that mace hurled from Bhima. Then the king of Kalingas, seeing his son Shakradeva killed, he again surrounded Bhima with all sides with many thousands of chariots. Then Bhima, abandoning the mace, he took up a scimitar and then desiring to achieving victory for Pandavas against these Kalingas, he goes against them. So ruler of Kalingas as well. So he taking his bow, he starts striking Bhima with large number of arrows. So with sharp arrow he releases, but that Bhima again cuts it cuts that arrows with his sword he uses in holding in his hand, and he continues to battle with those Kalingas. And Bhima as well, then at that time, those arrows coming towards Bhima, he cuts off furiously, facing all alone all those Kalinga warriors. Then Bhima again, at that time, Bhanumat rushes towards Bhima. Bhanumat again covers Bhima with large number of arrows, and he sets up a huge shout because Bhima was just resisting them. He could not hurt Bhanumat anymore. And then, but Bhima again did not stop. He also gives a large shout. With that, Kalingas all become very much feared. With fear, they started frightened, and Bhima then, with that shout, all of them thought Bhima is not any normal human being, and they were all very much worried. Then Bhima jumps on Bhanumat's elephant using the elephant's tusks. He jumping on that, he jumps on top of the elephant, and then using his sword, he cuts Bhanumat in the middle. He makes him two pieces from top to bottom. He cuts him off in two pieces. Then, while jumping down from that elephant, he uses the sword and cuts off the elephant's neck as well. As the elephant was falling, Bhima jumps down from that. So, like this, he kills that another prince of Kalingas, Bhanumat, in that battle. So, jumping down that from elephant, he again fights all the Kalinga warriors approaching him. So Bhima was again move over in that field with the activities like a hawk would move, and quickly cutting off in that battle with sharp-edged sword he was holding all the bodies of the Kalinga warriors, the elephants, horses, whoever comes across him, he used to come. And combatant on foot, they used to come at him, but Bhima again, he struck terror in all of them. And then on the foot, he used started fighting all of them, moving, displaying different kind of moves and motions in that battlefield. He wheeled about, he whirled, and he made his thirst. He jumped forward, he ran above, he leapt high. He did all those moves and then forward and rushed upward. So like this, Bhima displaying various kind of moves in that battlefield, he faced up to all those Kalinga warriors. So he again, a lot of people and elephants, horses, all of them uh, fell on the ground. Many elephants with their trunks cut off, and their tusks cut off, having their globes cut open, they without any riders and things like that. They started running against their own armies and then killed many of the Kalinga warriors on their side, some of them, because in the injured elephants, they started. And then similarly, you could see broken lances and the heads of elephant, the riders, the beautiful housings of the elephants, so what they sit on top of elephants, the cords with gold and other things that's there, the darts, mallets, quivers, diverse kind of machines, beautiful bows, short arrows, polished heads, hooks, iron crows that's for the used for guiding the elephants, bells of different shapes. All these things could be seen there on the ground, and all of them were fallen along with the riders of these horses and things like that. So elephants lying down in that uh, battlefield everywhere. It looked like a hill. So then Pandavas again, Bhima again, he once more, he continues to kill like that huge number of elephants. Next also he killed horses as well. And he killed most of the cavalry soldiers and he cut them as they are rushing towards him. And then as they come near him, he used to throw them under his feet and crush them. So earth became filled with blood of various types of all the animals and people that killed there. So again, frequently jumping up and or on the side, rushing side, he used to wander, making many paths for himself. So even though there was no path, Bhima was going there wherever he goes. There he made a path for himself. So again, he threw some on the ground by force, and some, as he was running, they hit his thighs, and through that they died. So Bhima was so strong. So some he used to kill through his sword, some he used to crush with his arms, some he used to stamp on them, some of the soldiers and animals or elephants he used to just crush with his arms. So and here also it says that as he was walking in that battlefield, and his thighs, if somebody comes and comes across his legs, just by hitting his legs, they used to die. So he was going like that. So then, seeing this, Shruta is leading the Kalinga troops. He rushes towards Bhima, and seeing him advancing, he pierces Bhishma between the breasts with 9 arrows. Struck by those shafts, again, Bhima looked, he became very angry. Then Vishoka, Bhima's charioteer, he brings another chariot. Bhima mounts on that, and then he says, wait, wait. Then Shruta is also excited. In anger, strikes at Bhishma with many sharp arrows. Bhima as well forcibly strikes with 9 sharp arrows. Kalingas, he against Kalinga, Shruta is. And then he kills the ruler of Kalingas with 7 shaft arrows, wholly made of iron arrows. He strikes against Shruta and kills him as well in that battle. So with 2 arrows, he kills the protector of the Kalinga king, and then he also dispatches Satyadeva and Satya, who were next to Kalinga king. Then Bhima also with many sharp arrows and long shafts, he kills Ketumat also, who was coming with Shruta. So then the Kshatriyas, Kalinga country, all of them seeing their kings and princes and everybody getting killed by Bhima, in thousands, they come rushing at Bhima, wishing to kill Bhima. But Bhima again, single-handedly, he strikes all of them with arrow shower of his own, and he kills them. Then he takes up a mace and jumping down from his chariot with great speed, he starts striking all the Kalinga warriors. So he dispatches 700 heroes, Rathis, in this battle. Then also he dispatches 2,000 Kalingas in that battle in addition to that. So like this, Bhima fights all the Kalingas and elephants killed by Bhima were lying on the battlefield everywhere. Then Bhima, like that, he again taking a scimitar in his hand filled with very happily he blows his conch shell with terrible loudness. But Kalingas again, the remaining warriors, they continues to rush. But Bhima again continues to fight them. Seeing him like this, at that time, Kalinga warriors, they finally started running away from that battlefield. However, again, at that time, the Dhrishtadyumna, at that time again, when they were running like that, Kalinga warriors running like that, Pandava's army led by Dhrishtadyumna saying that urges them to fight again. Okay, so again, hearing those words of their commander, many of the Pandava side headed by Shikandini, they all of them come there. They come for that fight as well. So Shikandini approaches Bhima. Shikandini comes to Bhima and supports Bhima, and similarly Yudhishthira also follows them with a large elephant division of his own. Then Dhrishtadyumna, surrounded by many excellent warriors, they come there for protection Bhima at that time. So again, there was nobody. Dhrishtadyumna comes there to rescue, again, to support Bhima, because he would have done. It says that Dhrishtadyumna likes Bhima so much that there is nobody else he would have tried to save before giving up his life. So he likes so much. So Dhrishtadyumna again, seeing Bhima in that battlefield alone, he goes towards him, and seeing Dhrishtadyumna as well, and also Satyaki coming at distance with his flags shining, Bhima becomes very happy, and Dhrishtadyumna goes and hugs Bhima, and he says that what you have caused this killing these Kalinga warriors in this battlefield with so many elephants and horse riders and rathis that's coming on the Kalinga side with Shrutais, Ketumat, and all those people that invincible warriors on the Kalinga side, you achieved a great thing. And then seeing this, when all the Kalingas and everybody are running away, they thinking that Yama himself is battling against them. Then Bhishma, hearing those cries, he comes towards Bhima, and surrounds Bhima. Satyaki at that time and Bhima, Dhrishtadyumna, all of them rush towards Bhishma. So coming there, so with a large number of straight arrows, Bhishma strikes these three warriors, and with a large number of arrows, he kills the horses of Bhima. Bhima again, staying on that chariot again with where the horses have been killed, still he strikes Bhishma. So Bhishma again cuts off with an arrow the thread of the Bhima, and then Bhima again taking up a heavy mighty mace, he jumps down from that chariot. Dhrishtadyumna quickly takes him on his chariot, and so that Bhima is not standing on the ground facing Bhishma. Satyaki then doing what is good for Pandavas and Bhima, he kills the charioteer of Bhishma. So with that charioteer killed, the horses uncontrolled, they take Bhishma far away from the battlefield. They run away, and with that, Bhishma also was taken away. So like this, slaying all the Kalingas in that battlefield, Bhima looked great, and he was very much delighted. The Pandavas and Drishtadyumna, Satyaki, they hug him and they say that by good luck that you killed the king of Kalingas, Ketumat, the princes of Kalinga, Chakradeva, also has been killed in this battlefield with large number of elephants and army division coming from the horses and charioteers and great warriors on that side. You killed all of them. It is what you have achieved is great thing. So having said this, Satyaki and others again getting back on their chariot, they again continue to fight, resume their battle. So the battle again in the when that morning has passed like that, when the destruction of all those chariots, elephants, horses, and foot soldiers and everything, horse riders, everything continued. The Drishtadyumna again engaged in the battle with three great warriors on the Kaurava side, Ashwatthama, Shalya, and Kripa. The Drishtadyumna, with many sharp arrows, he kills the horses of Ashwatthama. Then, without those animals, Ashwatthama quickly gets up on the Shalya's car and chariot, and then he starts fighting Drishtadyumna. Drishtadyumna again engaged in the battle, seeing him battling three people in one go. Abhimanyu goes there for his rescue, quickly coming there, and he pierces Shalya with 25 arrows, Krupa with 9, Ashwatthama with 8, and Ashwatthama in return quickly releases many arrows with Arjuna, son, and Abhimanyu, and Shalya as well with 12 arrows, Krupa with 3 arrows strikes back. Then Duryodhana's son Lakshmana, he comes there and he starts battle with Abhimanyu. So then Duryodhana, seeing Lakshmana with very angrily, he releases arrows towards Arjuna with 500 arrows, and Abhimanyu releases 500 arrows with him, and Lakshmana also with his own arrows cuts off the bows of Abhimanyu. So like this, they both fight each other, Abhimanyu and Duryodhana's son. Seeing his son battling Abhimanyu, Duryodhana immediately urges all the kings to everybody to go towards Lakshmana and protect him. And all the kings at that time surround Abhimanyu. Abhimanyu all alone faces them and resists all of them. All the arrows and weapons coming towards him, he faces all of them. So seeing that, Abhimanyu battling alone with many warriors on Kaurava side, Arjuna quickly comes to that spot and then supports his son Abhimanyu. Then again on the Kuru side, Bhishma, Drona, they all come there. They all rush towards Arjuna because wherever Arjuna goes, they come and try to resist Arjuna. So like this, the battle continues on the day where the third day where the battle continues between the Kauravas and Pandavas. So we'll look at what happens on the rest of the third day next time when we see. Any questions for today?